Kapten tupigie risto.
Mabron Jace. Yeah. Wacha ni washow vile msupa alinituma vitungu sokoni. Aja? Nilikuwa naenda kulamba bet juu ya game moja. Nikauliza, yani naweza lamba bet juu ya game moja? Alafu madha vitungu akadai, jamani su kesho kuna betika. Nikamuuliza, naweza jitoa tu? Msao mkoko akatokea akadai, ni mara ngapi ndakushow? Na betika unaweza cash out na withdraw bila charges.
Ala? Eti cash out na no withdrawal charges?
Kabisa. Ukibetika unapata mo. Pata mo na betika.
Hii story imeletwa kwako na Betika, the official sponsors of happiness. Gambling can be addictive. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years of age. This advert is authorized and regulated by the Betting Control and Licensing Board. License number BK281. Betika, jukwaa la mabingwa.
Hi everyone, it's another Saturday and another chance to talk sport on Radull Live, and so thanks for joining us. Before we get into the matters of sport here today, I do need to remind you that on the Betika app you get one free bet every Monday and every Thursday. Yes, your first bet of the day every Monday and every Thursday on the Betika app is free. So go to betika.com and download the Betika app, and remember, all through the week you can place bets. So much football happening, so many opportunities to make that dollar. But remember to bet responsibly, strictly for people over the age of 18 years. Now today we're going to talk about a unique sport, something you never considered a sport, but something that the International Olympic Committee has decided that in 2024 it will be an Olympic sport, and that's dance. Yes, something we all do. So joining us today to talk about dance and of course how you can possibly represent Kenya as a dancer at the Olympics if you qualify. Yeah, so I have Moses Onyango of Dance Afrique and Levina Omuse. Levina, that's a really nice name.
Thank you.
Moses, let me start with you.
Sure.
What is Dance Afrique? Who are Dance Afrique?
Basically, first of all, thank you for having us. Totally grateful for the opportunity. So Dance Afrique basically is a project that aims at empowering young people to turn their talent into profit. So we aim to create for them a platform to be recognized and be appreciated by stakeholders from different quarters. So that's essentially why Dance Afrique is in existence.
And once in a while you torture us. You invite us to Carnival on a Friday night and you make us dance for 5 hours.
Yeah, I remember Party Like Fitness. Yeah, I remember some. It was 2015,
2015?
Yes.
Oh, 2016.
2016. Yeah, at Kani. Yeah, so we had one of those arrangements where we just guys come, dance, have fun. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah, you have fun until the bones start to ache.
Sure.
But it's all about the fun. First of all, before we get into how Kenya's going to get to the Olympics, please note, we're already there. I know there's a qualification process.
Yes.
I want to know how you two got into dance. Let me start with Levina. How did you decide I'm going to be a dancer and I'm going to do it professionally?
Okay. First of all, dance for me was, I started dancing when I was a young girl. When I was still in primary.
Okay, what do you mean by young? When I was still in primary.
Yeah, still in primary all the way to high school. You know those days of entertainment, and then you go, you're told, Levina, Levina. The people cheer you up, and then you're like shaking, kushoto kulia, you know. And then now I realized I really love dancing. And so after high school, finished school, and then now came to Nairobi. And then you're looking into getting opportunities and all. So I met Moses, at that time, first of all, it started in church because I went to church and I found a team of dancers, a very
brilliant.
organized team called called DWAP, Dancers with a Purpose. So when I joined there, because I knew I was so good in dance, I would shake my waist and I was like, me, dance is my thing. So when I went there, I found them doing choreography, choreographed dance now. For maybe in simpler words, like organized dance. You don't just come and do freestyle. It has to be organized. Everyone
Sort of what you see
has
in
to
the
follow.
pubs.
Not that kind. So when I joined and started learning, and I realized dance is like, it's something that continuously grows. Like every day a choreographer comes and they have a new idea, they come up with better moves. Every year you find that there is a new dance in town, you thought you are good at this, now there is, I don't know, amapiano, different kinds of dance, and you constantly need to continue learning. So that is when now I after that I met Moses, and Moses now was again doing another kind of dance, which is dance fitness, and I was like, hey, dance is broad. So again I started learning also dance fitness. Yeah, I thought I'm a good dancer, So when I started learning also dance fitness, it continued like that, and then I was like, kumbe you can even earn from dance. You would go for gigs, get opportunities like the one you said in Kani. You go do a session and then you're paid, and I was like, this is the place to be.
And why not?
Dance is paying,
These things should not be hobbies, they should be professions.
Yes.
Moses, how did you decide you're going to be a professional dancer? When did it all start?
Same thing. Just after high school, that is maisha mwanzo, maisha kule. So after high school, I joined this particular church. I saw guys dancing, and from there I was really captivated, and my interest grew. So after my 15th year of just dancing in church, I said, why can't I monetize my gift and talent? So I decided to package myself. Actually, initially it was called Dance with Moses. That was my brand name and my still to date, And I began with Dance with Moses, and at some point I thought, okay, why can't I make this to be now a fully fledged business? Yeah. Where now I can be able to, maybe even do proposals, put up a website, put up a couple of things. So, and then it morphed to MDA, Moses Dance Agency. Yeah, so from that now I was able to actually bring in new people like Levina came on board, a couple of other people that came to just learn and grow. And yeah, so far it has been an interesting journey. And
so what separates normal dancers from choreographed dancing? Because everyone can dance.
Sure.
Even my 2-year-old daughter can dance.
Yes.
But what's the difference between what everybody does and what you will now have to do if you're going to be recognized? Well, now that you're recognized as a sport, what type of dancing?
So,
and can anyone make the transition?
It's very, very possible. Once you have the interest and you know this is what exactly I've been called to do, you morph into other genres of dance. Like now there is ballet, there is hip hop, there is contemporary dance, there is b-boy, which is actually being featured in the Olympics. There's a Afrobeat, there's a Mapiano. So you get to choose a variety of what exactly you're specializing on. And once you master your craft is when you're able to have an opportunity to, number one, either showcase before people, or number two, teach people. So you can be able to go maybe to schools, institutions where you can be able to teach and learn and earn from what you are doing in person.
Have you and your team, and I'll ask Lavina, have you had any formal training, formal dance training?
Yes, most of the time you find the dancers, the ones that teach us, they have experience in choreography. They when they start, you see, for choreography, mostly it's related to a story.
Yeah.
And like when you're told, just stand and dance. But this one is related to a story where you find that the dance moves communicate. Yeah, so you find that for you, you don't just wake up and decide, let me learn a choreography and dance. There is always a song. What's the song communicating? What are these moves also communicating? How do we match them?
What story am I
what
telling?
story am I telling?
Sure.
So choreography is a little bit deeper.
But in terms of the technique, are there any like dance schools in Kenya, like professional schools for technique?
Yeah, there are actually. So like there's the Academy of Dance in Karen. Okay, personally I went through Zumba training at the Aga Khan Sports Club. Yeah, there is a Dance Center Kenya. So there are these particular institutions that are currently coming up to just give people papers that you can be able to use in a in an institution to go and teach. So it becomes more of a legitimate business, and people can be able to appreciate and pay you for your worth.
For the Olympics, what type of dance? You mentioned, I think, was it b-ball or something?
Yeah, b-boy.
There's a specific type of dance that the Olympics is asking for.
Yeah, for this, because this is the inaugural season, so that is what is selling at the Olympics in 2024, which is the b-boy or the b-girl. Yes.
What's that?
So it's just the opposite of a boy, a girl. So yeah, so girls are known as b-girls and boys, b-boys. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be selling at the Olympics. And yeah, currently preparations are underway to just select a team within the the region, just to go and represent maybe the region as a whole, East Africa, or even Africa as a whole.
Amongst the dancers you currently have, or what you see in Kenya, do we have the ability to do b-ball? Or I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a bit complicated, especially if you're not so much. Like if you're not a dancer yourself, you might find it a bit complicated. It's also demanding in terms of energy. It's the kind of, that's why it's actually been categorized under sport, because it takes a lot of energy. There is jumping, moving on the floor, whirling, a lot of technique needed. So for b-boy, I think the reason as to why they even decided for it to come, it's because they announced earlier so that people can come together and actually polish their skills. Like for example, in Kenya we have so many teams, so many teams who have been working their gift in the area of b-boy, and now that it's recognized, they've become more serious, and they've started like having these regular rehearsals, coming together, even forming a team, you know, representing in different events and stuff like that. So I think we have the capacity as a country. We just need the, you know, support. Yeah.
We'll get into that in a bit. Moses, you got as it's Moses Agency. Moses Dance Agency.
Yes.
So you've been given, is it a license you get? What is it you get to give you the permission to put together a team? Because you want to put together a Kenya team.
Yeah.
What process was that in getting the permissions, and how can somebody get into this team? What's
ideally, I must say that you have the license. I can say we are catalyst. Catalyst meaning that we are the ones who are instigating stakeholders, like private and public partners, to come in and support the initiative. So there are particular groups you're working with. One is called King of the Streets. It's a very popular b-boy group. One is called Mviringo, and one is called Slam Dance Kenya. So those are the teams that we're trying to see how can they be on the limelight. Because most of the time when you see some of these organized groups, sometimes they don't have what it takes to be able to push the agenda forward. So they need like an organization that can be able to, you know, fight for the rights, give them a platform to be heard and to be seen. So that's why Dance Africa is there, to give people a platform for them to be recognized and people to appreciate and buy into what they're doing.
Have you approached like the National Olympic Committee so that you, because you have to register somewhere?
Yes. Yeah, we already approached the National Olympic Committee, but there's a certain category they're looking for. There's just a few things in terms of paperwork that they're looking for until it's made official. Yeah, but we have done so. So we're just waiting to finalize a couple of details here and there, which I'm hoping by mid-February we'll have done that, so that at least we can start the process.
So the process, of course, you mean is auditions, or what's going to happen to select Team Kenya?
Yeah, so there'll be auditions all over. There'll be scouting of talents in the region, so that now once we find a suitable candidate, they're able to be groomed. So like now through a particular series of workshops, that just to ensure they're polished in terms of one, communication skills, because when you go there at the Olympics, you're not just going to Shema, you know.
It's another ball game, right?
Yeah, it's another ball game, yeah, because you meet different people from different countries, and you have to be, you have to know what you're saying, what you're selling, and also you're representing your country. So that has to be very, very strategic way of communicating. So
amongst these different groups you've mentioned, you will select a Team Kenya?
Yes, among the different groups you've mentioned.
How many dancers are you looking for? And is it both male, female? How do you compete? Have you been given guidelines by IOC?
For now, not yet, but currently, the different groups are comprised of both female and male, and then we won't be won't discriminate. If you find a male figure or a female figure is better at what they do, we'll select, because it's only one person actually is going to represent Kenya.
One person?
One person.
One person?
One
I thought it's a team.
One particular individual that's going to represent Kenya,
Yeah. That's
so
harsh.
that selection process is very.
So even the way IOC has arranged it, there's no male and female like in the other sports. It's just a dancer.
Just a dancer.
What?
That represent now. Actually, this is how they have put it. If they'll put East Africa as a cluster. So if they go to TZD, they find somebody better in the whole of East Africa, they'll take that person. Yeah, if they come to Kenya and they find somebody better in Kenya, they take that person. So they've been put as a cluster, and it's very, very competitive.
That's very competitive. That's very competitive because it's regional. But let me just take you a step back. Lavina, how did you feel when you heard the announcement that dance will finally be an Olympic sport? And Alaska, the same thing.
I was so excited because for me that was, I considered it an honor, first of all, to the dance industry. And also, finally, we are getting out there into the limelight. So
yeah, sure.
I felt like it's an opportunity also for dancers to push themselves out of the comfort zone, become more creative, and actually really work and polish their skill, not just, get comfortable. As I mentioned earlier, dance is constantly growing. So if you get to a point where everyone is saying, she's really a good dancer, and you're like, yeah, I'm a good dancer. And then
for now,
for now, it's just for now. You have to keep reinventing yourself every other day. So for me, it was an amazing news, and I believe it's us getting to the next level, basically.
Yeah, because it's now people are taking it from those people who just cheza.
Imagine, imagine. They never
hobby.
take us seriously. Watoto.
It's now an Olympic sport. How did you feel, Moses, given that all you've done for dance in Kenya? Even without even having Olympics in sight,
Yeah, it was exciting. I think for me it was more of trying to see how it can be able to add value to the vision that I have. Because me, essentially, since I left high school, dance has been my thing. I actually went to campus, did food science and technology for like around 6 years. But after that, I just got the papers, but went back to dancing again. Because I feel there's a responsibility we have to nurture the talent and gift we have in our society. And if you don't have somebody responsible for the upcoming guys who are very talented, we'll end up wasting what we have, the resources that we have. So for me, it was exciting. For me, it was motivating. And also the ability just to encourage people, let's take it up, let's psych up, let's unite and see what is the difference we can create as a community of dancers.
And even if you don't get into this Olympics, you will learn from the qualification stages to become better.
That's true.
Wow. And then employment, at the end of the day, everybody's looking for employment, and not everybody's going to get a blue-collar job to sit in an office.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sure. That's good recognition. Apart from being an Olympic sport, you created dance also for fitness.
Yes.
How can we benefit, those of us who feel going to the gym and whatever, it's just hard work, but I can dance.
Yeah, sure. So we, at some point, we realized that people who they like working out, but they're not so fond about machines. They want something that motivates them to move and, break a sweat. So that's how we invented, actually it became from Zumba. And after Zumba, now we said, well, how can we Kenyanize our own dance? So for me, how I Kenyanized it, I call it dance fusion. So we have a fusion of many forms of dances from all over the world. Yeah. So essentially, guys, just go. There's an instructor there takes you through a warm-up session, the main dance fitness session, and then a cool-down session. By the end of the day, you end up even burning more than 500 calories.
Just from dancing?
Just from dancing, imagine.
Do what you do on Saturday night and you don't know you're exercising.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting journey in terms of dance fitness.
And for you, Lavina, you've managed to stay fit and trim. Maybe I should start dancing.
personally, I find dance as the best way of working out for me, because first of all, it's easy, it's fun, and especially when you are a team, there is that psych in the room.
Yes.
So before you know it, you've actually worked out. For you, you're like having fun, but at the end of it, you've worked out.
Yeah.
So I find it very interesting. But for those who are actually dance fitness lovers, what I can advise is also consistency. Because you find that for dance, you will need that consistency. It's not like you come for 2 days and then you disappear. And
Saturday
you're like,
night is not enough.
yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
need to have that consistency
Yeah.
of constantly, just coming, you dance, and you finish the time, the stipulated time,
Yeah.
follow the guidance of the instructor, whoever is running the session, for you to feel the effectiveness.
Yeah.
So like any other sport, it's hard work and discipline.
Yeah,
Hard
That's
work and
needed.
discipline.
absolutely.
Maybe I can add something what she said. It's also therapeutic. Because sometimes when you have all these things you're thinking about, how your day is unfolding and everything, and all these things are just in your mind clogged. So when you go there is you release yourself to the power of music. And
Yeah.
it takes you away. By the time you realize you're coming out very free, very light and happy.
Because dance puts you in a mood.
Yeah.
No matter how depressed you are,
Yeah.
dance just puts you in a
Sure.
good mood.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're living in times of mental stress and all this stuff.
A lot
Very
of
true.
that.
So it's a good idea for those, anybody can dance.
Yeah.
Not everybody can
Essentially.
play every sport, but
Everyone can dance.
you don't have to be in tune, but everyone can dance.
Yeah,
I want us
sure.
to take a short break. When we come back, we'll get into what you're saying. Serikali. Now that dance is an Olympic sport, you want to prepare. What can the government do? What can we do to see that the representation from the region comes from Kenya? So that discussion is coming up after the break.
Captain, tupigie Risto.
Mabron Jace. Yeah. Wacha ni washow vile msupa alinituma vitunguu sokoni. Aja. Nilikuwa naenda kulamba bet juu ya game moja. Nikauliza, yani naweza lamba bet juu ya game moja? Alafu madha wa vitunguu akadai, jamani su kesho kuna betika. Nikamuuliza, naweza jitoa tu? Msewa mkoko akatokea akadai, ni mara ngapi ndakushow? Na betika unaweza cash out na withdraw bila charges.
Ala? Eti cash out na no withdrawal charges?
Kabisa. Ukibetika unapata mo. Pata mo na betika.
Hii story imeletwa kwako na Betika, the official sponsors of happiness. Gambling can be addictive. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years of age. This advert is authorized and regulated by the Betting Control and Licensing Board. License number BK281. Betika, jukwaa la mabingwa.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Radull Live. Now, before we continue our conversation of dance as an Olympic sport, yes, a reminder that every Monday and every Thursday you get one free bet on the Betika app. Yes, your first bet that you place on a Monday or a Thursday is free on the Betika app. So go to betika.com and download the Betika app and make sure you take advantage of that offer. Now, I'm with Moses Onyango and Lavina Omuse from Dance Afrique. They are excited because dance is finally being recognized as an Olympic sport, as are we. You know, for me, the more hobbies in quotes that are taken seriously, the better, because you provide employment and you give people hope of using whatever skill they have. You know, I think we were talking about that before the break, that you don't have to have a desk job to excel in a profession,
That's
you know.
true. Yeah.
So we have to prepare. You were telling us we have to prepare for the Olympic qualifiers,
Yes.
because only one dancer, male or female, one dancer will be picked from the region to go for the 2024 Olympics in Paris. What support have you received, or what support do you need from who to make sure that Kenya gets that representative to Paris? And I'll probably start with you, Moses, sorry. Basically, who right now, how do you cater for yourselves? Let me put it that way, so you know what support you then need.
So currently, let me just start from saying, we try do activities or projects to fundraise for some of our activities. So we can try and do like a fitness event, maybe similar to what we did at Carnival some 5 years back, as a way of having a platform to create awareness about what you're doing and see if we can have stakeholders or even corporates jump in to be able to support the cause. Right now there's so much. Let me say we are not going to a place where dance can be a buy-in to as many people as possible, especially in the corporate world, because they're not saying what is the value, what is the return on investment. Maybe if I give you $1 million, how will it benefit my brand, or how
long term?
Yeah.
So right now people still take you as entertainment at an event, or curtain raiser for another event.
Sure. Yeah, so there's no seriousness that has been taken in, and that's why we're trying to really do a lot of awareness campaigns with events we'll be doing now in the next couple of months, just to see on how we can have the public or even the corporate world jump in what you're doing. So we are trying to see how we can use dance, choreograph particular forms of dance that can be able to align with the brand, more of a dance advertisement, so that you see, like when you do For You, maybe you have your brand, maybe you have, let's say it's Radull Live. We're coming up with a dance showing Radull Live and how we can be able to add value to it, maybe when put it up on social media, so that you can be able to have a buy-in into it. So those are some of the ideas you're thinking, and how essentially you can just make it go to another level.
I know you've had partners in Red Bull and the Nairobi County government. How are those partnerships coined? Or did they just sponsor an event?
For Red Bull, actually, it's more of a long-term partnership, because most of the time, Red Bull is more of a sports drink, right?
And it's about energy and life.
Energy, and it's more rejuvenating. So one of the arrangements we're trying to have with them is to see how can you have a long-term plan, where we're not only just coming for a one-off event, but you can come for a series of sports we do. Like, let's say, for example, we are normally known in gyms, like we're doing our dance fitness classes. Is it possible we can create a partnership where we are going for classes, you're also present. We have maybe your gear, maybe after the class you can do an activation, or people can be able to sample your drink, so that they can see value in it. They also, I think they're planning like a marathon that happens once a year, where you run for 24 hours non-stop.
Run.
Yeah, you run 24 hours non-stop. So they where they
don't call me.
Yeah, so where the speed car will find you is where you're out of the race. So there's something they're trying to organize like that, and somehow we'll be getting involved.
So you have to get really creative to get those corporate partners. Lavina, what about you mentioned if the government, because if you're going as Team Kenya, then the government needs to come in at some level. Because we have such a habit of rewarding you when you're back and you've done well and you've brought medals, but we don't know how you got there. And it would be good if we had a hand in getting you there.
Absolutely. Walking the journey with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what I can say is there is a lot to be done. There is a lot of work to be done, and dancers need the encouragement. Because if you don't get the support, you won't get the encouragement to even step up and say, I can actually compete to be the number one or the person representing Kenya or Africa, East Africa in the Olympics. So I feel like we need a lot of support, especially in terms of where we are even meeting for our rehearsals. You see, just like the
infrastructure, the dance halls.
The dance halls, such things, like those are things we need, because if you get to hear stories of dancers or crews where they do their rehearsals from, my God, you will be shocked. Yeah, so like just getting that support, getting the way Moses had mentioned, like taking dance seriously, giving dancers opportunities, you know. And when you give them opportunities, pay them well, compensation.
It's not a hobby, it's a profession.
Yeah, it's a profession. People have put work, people have invested time. Just appreciate them for what they are worth, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, because I feel like that is also one of the things that really discourages dancers.
That's true.
So at Wakiskia, there is something like Olympics, they're like, okay, good luck, guys. And then they exempt themselves. Whoever goes, fine, good luck. But we need everyone to participate, because someone somewhere has that gift, but they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the encouragement. And you find that right now dancers are juggling so many things. You know, someone is a dancer, they call themselves a dancer. They will find time for rehearsals, yes, but you find that they're doing other things. Maybe they're working, somehow. They have to pay bills at the end of the day. So they will have to look for something else, of which we want them to concentrate on that skill. Let them concentrate on polishing the skill. So if we are going to get a representative from Kenya, then the support should start now.
Yeah, because if you're going, and if you're going for, I like that you started early, because Olympics are still about 3 years away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, 2.5, not really 3, because of the late Olympics. But preparing for an Olympic is a 4-year journey. And I think it was Andrew Amonde who sat here and told us, don't criticize Kenya Sevens players, because we had a 3-month preparation for an Olympic, which is wrong. Preparation for Olympics is a 4-year journey, which means you need to be constantly dancing at a high level for Kenya to then compete regionally for that ticket.
That's true.
So what plans do you have, or you're still in discussion with these other groups to come up with, whether it's a league, whether it's regular, not just showcases and events, but competitions, so that people are competing at the highest level in Kenya.
Kenya.
So that you're not waiting for one event in Kenya to then qualify, but you're constantly practicing and growing your craft. Do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, before I mention, let me just mention something that she said, which is very essential in terms of getting value for your money. Just a case scenario, we had this particular brand that we had invited to come and dance, but last minute we are shortchanged. Like, now you've been told this is how much you get paid, but now for a few hours to the deal, they're like, now we won't pay you this amount of money. This is how much we're gonna pay you. And of course, you know, my God, you're already prepared, everything is ready. We just decided, you know what, we're not so desperate. You can just get other dancers who feel maybe that is what their value. So I think dancers will need to respect themselves, so that you're not just taken as a Tom, Dick and Harry. You're able to
don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. You know, be a brand, let people respect you, and let people just know that what you stand for. Okay?
It's tricky because it's easier said than done, because if you as a dance troupe you don't accept it, they'll go to another dance troupe who probably haven't seen a payday in 2 months, 3 months, and they're like, okay, this is better than nothing. So it's actually an unfortunate place that a lot of our sports people find themselves. They undervalue themselves because somebody else will take less. I have nothing. You know, I'm not in a position to bargain when I have nothing. You know, so it's unfortunate, because it means you need to be on a playing field where people are at least getting the bare minimum. Then you can choose, and or you create a union, whatever it is, and say, if you want any dancer, you have to come to these, and these are the rates. For our level of professionalism, these are the rates, and you make sure all dancers are on board, so that nobody goes to undercut the other. But it's easier said than done.
That's true.
Yeah?
That's true.
So back to the other question about creating a league of sorts. so that you're competing internally as Kenyans, so that there's no surprise when you're looking for a national representative.
That's true. So that's actually why we initiated the Dance Afrique competition, which is more of a project. It's, let me call it a 5-year plan, which is leading to the Olympics and also a post-Olympics program, where we just don't, once you've maybe represented in the Olympics, you have won, what next? Okay? So we're trying to see how we can be able to create a post-mentorship program so that at the end of the day, you can still continue sharpening your skill. So in the project, we have the workshops that we'll be currently, we're doing like at least 2 twice a year. And now we have the dance competition, which is normally in the International Day of Dance that happens every 29th of April. There's the International Day of Dance. And now there's a Dance Afrique Gala, where we'll be just appreciating the input, where people have really contributed to the industry in a way. So we just want to keep on stirring up the nest so that people are not just comfortable with what you have, but you keep on reinventing yourself. You keep on polishing your skills to a place where people can see and appreciate and even pay you value for what you are doing. Yeah, so those are the kind of plans we're having. So the April event for Dance Afrique Gala happens in December. In between before April, we have one workshop, and then between April and December, so have another workshop just to keep on stirring up the nest. For the
if someone's watching and they want to participate in your competitions or even in the qualifiers, how can they reach you? Or do they have to join a troop first?
For now, we are taking groups. We have groups that people can compete in, and also there's solo and duet category. Sorry, I forgot to say about that. Solo, duet, and differently abled category. So that when somebody feels they need to maybe be part of a community, they can be able to join hands. If somebody feels confident enough to dance on their own, they can also do that. If you're differently abled and you're able to execute the moves required, you also have the leeway. So we want to make it an open playing field and create opportunities for as many people as possible, at the same time create awareness. Yeah, so it's an open forum for guys to come and compete and just see on how their skills can go to another level.
Have you knocked on the door of the sports ministry yet?
We knocked once, for long, and we just gave up.
That sounds very literal. No one's opening.
We knocked, told bring papers, leta makaratasi, zitangaliwa, nini. So, and then this thing until you're always printing papers and then presenting. But
nobody will read.
Nobody
in that
will
ministry.
take. Yeah, nobody. It let's be there, and then end of the day, like when they see you all leaving, is when they start.
In fairness to them, you would need a federation of sorts, whether it's an association or a federation, because the ministry won't speak to individuals or individual groups, but they will speak to a federation that has elected officials.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you are heading in that direction, because to get anything from the Ministry of Sport, you have to have elected officials.
That's true.
So that they know you are representing the sport of dance in this country. So that's in their defense. I do defend them sometimes.
Yeah, that is one thing we're actually working on, to have an association for dancers. It's not been an easy journey, but I think we're almost getting there. So a matter of just synchronizing our thoughts, electing officials, and we are good to go. Yeah.
Yeah, because everything has to. Government doesn't. That I know for a fact. So that's probably why you knocked and nobody opened.
Yeah, maybe.
They will tell you, go and organize yourselves first. Register your federation. Register under the, so that they know that you're your representative, because you'll come today and another dancer will go tomorrow and another dancer will go tomorrow and say, you know, we own dance in this country. This country as a sport, we own. So organize yourselves. What do you coach your guys about personal branding and marketing? I see you're a marketer by profession. Yeah. Because that's part of what corporates look at, the look, not just the sport, but the appearance of how the sport is packaged.
Well, mostly when we have these workshops, because we do that during the workshops, we just discuss about what you are able to offer. Because most of the time you find that if a dancer feels they are good, now they want opportunities. But we teach them about packaging, not just how to package themselves, how to carry themselves. Moses had mentioned about communication. How do you communicate? Are you able to go for a corporate meeting and actually convince those corporates to buy into what you are able to offer? So like how to package themselves, how to communicate, how to even write proposals, how to brand themselves on social media, how to dress, you know, when going for a meeting, you know, all these basics.
Actually, social media has become so huge for corporates.
Yes,
Yeah, that's true.
yes.
And dance. I know everyone thinks TikTok is only for dancing, but take advantage of
Yeah,
a
people are
platform
selling
where
themselves there.
dancing is doing well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, this week, there's a very big footballer in this country who lost a deal because of his social media numbers.
Wow.
And I found that really sad because I felt he wasn't well represented by the agency, you know, because certain people, their profile is so big that it's not about social media following. It's probably about media coverage you'll get and the association of that name. But they don't see it. The corporates are like, I want to see immediately how many followers they have.
Oh my God.
And how many people they can market to,
Wow.
you know, and it was quite
That's
shameful.
serious.
But yes, nowadays corporates are like, it's about numbers.
Yeah, a game of numbers.
It's a game of numbers. So
Sure.
use your popularity as dancers to build social media presence.
Yeah.
That's true.
Are you guys on TikTok? You must be.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
I'm a fake TikTok user. I have an account that is semi-dormant. Yeah, but I'll stalk you. But put everything on all social media.
Okay.
Yes.
You know?
Mhm.
But guys, I mean, do you have any parting shot before I let you go? For people who want to get into dance, for people who, now that it's a sport,
Well,
parting shot, advice?
for the dancers, I would recommend consistency. If you are a dancer and you know you have that gift, keep sharpening your skill. Keep working on your craft. Don't wait until the opportunity comes is when you throw yourself into it without being ready. So yeah, take your time, build your craft, and also work on branding, market yourself, brand yourself very well, package yourself in a way that you can be taken seriously. Because we keep saying we are not being taken seriously, but are you taking yourself
Starts
seriously?
with you.
Yeah, it starts with you. Yeah, we will be having so many events this year. If you follow us on social media, you will be updated. So we'll be having so many events for dancers.
What's your
and
handles?
even
Dance
for,
Afrique.
yes, the
At
Dance
the-
Afrique. At the Dance Afrique.
At the Dance Afrique.
Yes.
Okay.
So you will follow us and you'll get updated, not just for dancers but also for dance enthusiasts. So if you're a dance enthusiast, you're also welcome to our events. Come and learn one or two things. Come and learn one or two moves. Yes.
Trust me, you'll realize you don't know how to dance.
Yes. Also for dance fitness, if you want to enroll, you can reach out to us via social media and we'll be able to guide you. Aside from that, for corporates, dance has now been recognized as a sport. I believe you can now maybe look into it, consider partnering with us, consider supporting what we are doing, and take this generation to whatever we are doing as a generation to the next level. Thank
By
you.
the way, if corporates get into dance now, they will also be known as the corporate that supported dance before.
Absolutely.
You know, you supported dance to grow.
Yeah.
Not just to celebrate, to wait for you to
Make it and
win a
then
medal and suddenly everybody wants to hang on your coattail.
yes.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Like, hey, we
Everyone's
were
a piece
there
of
and we
you.
helped them grow.
yeah.
Any parting shot, Moses?
For me, I just want to emphasize on the sustainability programs for the dance community, because essentially, you know, winning Olympics is a one-day affair, but you can either make it or break it based on your character and based on what are the structures you have in place to sustain what you have. So some of the things we emphasize is even corporate can come in and even mentorship programs, you know, financial literacy, legal issues, you know, how can you sign contracts, nutrition, you know. So we need stakeholders who can be able to guide these guys into mentorship, because right now, yes, your talent will take you places, but what sustains you there is your character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I can be able to say.
I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
Thank
I wish you
you.
guys all the best in your qualifiers. I hope we get a representative from Kenya. If we don't, I hope at least we learn something for the future. But it's so brilliant to see dance as an Olympic sport?
Yeah.
I forgot to invite you for the 19th event.
To dance or to watch? Or seat dancers?
Yeah, just come and pledge your support in terms of the sport. So 19th Feb we'll be having the event, the one we had at Kani.
19th of February?
Yes.
Okay.
19th of Feb. So
location, you'll give me all the details. I'll share.
Kabisa.
So,
no worries.
All right, and thank you guys for watching Radull Live, and look out for the dancers. Look out for the dancers who are hoping to make it to the Olympics. And if Kenya gets to Olympics, make sure we're cheering them on. Yeah. For me, it's all about learning and growing, you know, and the fact that you even had a chance to go for qualifiers for Olympics is an achievement. So we wish you all the best, and thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.